Chapter 1681. Old Lady Mu tugged at Mu Dade and said, "Go, go, go. Hurry up and take me away." "Okay, mother," Mu Dade said as he helped Old Lady Mu up from the ground. Luo Tsueyu also thought that Mulan had gone crazy. It was possible to discuss some things with normal people, but there was no room for discussion with a crazy person. What was the point of sacrificing their lives for a bit of money? Mulan's eyes flashed coldly as she watched the three of them flee in a fluster. Some people really couldn't be courteous with. The more courteous they were, the more insatiable they would be. On the contrary, if one's attitude was too strong, they wouldn't dare to say anything more. However, although the Mu family had left, the worry in Mulan's heart did not dissipate. She always felt that the Mu family was not so easy to deal with and might come back again. At that time it would be another troublesome matter. Sigh. Mulan sighed, not knowing what to say. Mulan carried the wooden bucket somewhat dejectedly and continued to walk towards her big house. Fortunately, Mu Hin was not around, otherwise he would be worried with her. When old Madame Zhu saw Mulan's fierce behavior, she couldn't help but be speechless. Wasn't this Mulan too lawless? She could even do this to her own grandmother. Seeing old Lady Mu's bleeding head, Mrs. Zhu was frightened. Thinking about how she usually spoke to Mulan like that, Mulan was still polite to her. Otherwise, wouldn't she end up like old Lady Mu and end up in such a miserable state? How did our old Zhao family marry such a shrewish daughter-in-law? We are so unlucky, I'm so angry. Will she kill me one day too? Shrew shrew. Mrs. Zhu stood in the courtyard and kept muttering. Madame Qi went up to Mrs. Zhu and said to Mrs. Zhu, "Mother, isn't that so? Second sister-in-law is too scary. Look at how ruthless she is. That woman is crazy. Sigh, it seems that I shouldn't provoke her lest I get beaten up so badly." Thinking of old Lady Mu's bloody head, Mrs. Zhu shuddered. On the other hand, Ma Xiaofeng was getting better after resting at home for a while. She was able to get up and walk around. Ma Xiaofeng stayed at home for a whole morning. Seeing that Ma Xiaoyu hadn't come back yet, she was a little anxious and went out to look for her. Something must have happened since she hadn't been home for such a long time. She only had one brother, so she could not let anything happen to Ma Xiaoyu. On the way out to look for Ma Xiaoyu, he happened to bump into the Mu family. Old Lady Mu kept on scolding along the way. "I say, Bade, look at your two good daughters. Mulan is an unfilial one. Not only did she not give me money, she even hit me. Mu Xian is also disobedient. Everyone says that the parents' orders are the words of the matchmaker. She has to marry whoever she is arranged to marry." Mu Dade lowered his head and said, "Sigh, mother, don't say any more." Lan and Xener had no choice. Old Lady Mu glared at Mu Dade. "You only know how to speak up for those two wretched girls. Dade, aren't you worried about mother? Look at the wound on my head. It's so infuriating." Luo Tsueyu agreed, "That's right, mother. I think Mulan is too much. She doesn't care about mother at all. We came here for nothing this time. We worked ourselves to death and walked a few miles to get here, but we didn't get anything. Don't tell me that Mu Hin's marriage doesn't need to be discussed with us? It's her parents' orders and her matchmaker's words. Even if we don't force her, we don't have to agree to who she wants to marry. If they want to take Mu Hin back, they have to give us a betrothal gift. Otherwise we'll go and make a scene. This time we can at least get some money back to live a good life." Chapter 1683. Mu Dade felt a little guilty towards Mu Hin after what happened last time. Now that Mu Hin had finally found a good family to marry, how could he have the nerve to continue causing trouble? Old Lady Mu did not think so. "What's wrong with this? This is how it should be. Dade, you're Mu Hin's daughter. When your daughter gets married, shouldn't the groom discuss it with you? If the betrothal gifts aren't for you, are they going to be sent to Mulan? That wretched girl will benefit for nothing." Mu Dade frowned. He still felt that something was wrong. "Mother, all right, I'll decide on this matter. Don't say anything else. In any case, we can't let those two girls benefit." Old Lady Mu said angrily. Today she had a big cut on her forehead. She had to heal it no matter what. "Mother, if we really want to decide on this matter, let's go back today first. Your head injury is so serious. It's not good for us to go to someone's house. We'll come over and discuss it with the groom another day. What do you think?" Old Lady Mu nodded. "That's fine. My head feels like it's about to explode. I have to hurry back and rest and recuperate." Mu Dade heaved a sigh of relief. Coaxing Old Lady Mu back home was the most important thing for now. Before leaving, Old Lady Mu took Ma Xiaofeng's hand and said gratefully, "Girl, thank you so much. Thank you for reminding us." Ma Xiaofeng smiled. "Granny, you're too polite. I'm just reminding you that it's fine. You're so kind. Good people will be rewarded. Haha, it's okay. Then we'll leave first. Okay, take care. Ma Xiaofeng waved at the Mu family. Looking at the Mu family's departing figures, Ma Xiaofeng's lips curled into a smug and calculating smile. Looking at the Mu family's attitude, they must be greedy. She boasted that Zhao Yun'er's family was rich and powerful, so the Mu family would naturally ask for more betrothal gifts. Previously, Zhao Tianan liked to recommend her, but because her mother asked for 50 taels of silver as a betrothal gift, Zhao Tianan gave up. Then he slowly hooked up with Mu Hin. If the Mu Hin family were to make a fuss now, they would need a lot of money. Then Zhao Tianan might not be willing to marry Mu Hin. When that time came, wouldn't she have a chance? It would be best if there was some animosity between Mu Hin and Zhao Tianan. The more she thought about it, the more proud Ma Xiaofeng felt. She was too quick-witted. After going through so many things, she understood that she had to rely on herself to fight for many things. If you don't fight for it, no one will be willing to fight for you. In order to achieve his goal, he would do anything. As long as he succeeded in the end, what did it matter if others said a few words? Putting away the pride in her heart, Ma Xiaofeng remembered today's business. She still had to find her younger brother. After looking around the village, she finally found Ma Xiaoyu in the fields outside the village. Because there was nothing to eat at home and Ma Xiaoyu was a child, she couldn't run to town or Yang City to buy food, so she went to the fields outside to dig for some wild vegetables. Children in the countryside could basically recognize some wild vegetables. Children from poor families were able to take care of the household early. Ma Xiaofeng and Ma Xiaoyu lost their father when they were young, so it was even more so. Ma Xiaoyu dug for wild vegetables the whole morning, and her basket was almost full. Just as she was about to carry the basket home, a few children suddenly ran in front of Ma Xiaoyu and pushed her into the rice field. Chapter 1684. Her face and hair were also covered in mud. She was filthy. Ma Xiaoyu did not cry. Instead, she got up from the paddy field and glared angrily at the children who had pushed her into the paddy field. What are you doing? Why did you push me? Ma Xiaoyu questioned. The children giggled and stuck their tongues out at Ma Xiaoyu. What's wrong with pushing you? You're a child with no father to teach you. Hee, your mother and sister aren't good people, so you're not a good person either. My mother also said that your whole family is shameless. The old ones are bad, the young ones are bad too. You're a bad person, so we're here to teach you a lesson. Yes, we'll teach you a good lesson. The naughty brats humiliated Ma Xiaoyu, laughing as they spoke. Ma Xiaoyu's face darkened when she heard that. She said angrily to the children, No, it's not like what you said. What do you mean it's not like what we said? That's what my father and mother said. That's right. My parents said the same thing. Ma Xiaoyu pouted angrily and argued, My mother and sister are not bad people. I'm not a bad person either. Don't talk nonsense. I'll beat you up if you keep talking. Ah, you dare to beat us up? There are so many of us. Can't we beat you? Everyone beat him to death. He's a bad child. He wants to bully us. Yes, beat him up. Ma Xiaoyu clenched her fists. When she saw the children rushing over, she also started fighting with them. However, he was only one person and was outnumbered. Soon he was pinned to the ground and beaten by the children. When Ma Xiaofeng went over, she happened to see Ma Xiaoyu being beaten up. Seeing that Ma Xiaoyu's face was bruised and swollen, Ma Xiaofeng's heart tightened. She rushed over and pushed away the children who were surrounding Ma Xiaoyu. What are you doing? Who told you to be so cruel at such a young age? Go back and look for your parents. Ma Xiaofeng reprimanded angrily. However, the children were used to being naughty. How could they be afraid of Ma Xiaofeng's threat? So be it. We didn't hit the wrong person. Your whole family is bad people, so it's only right to beat you up. Yes, you should be her. My mother said that your family likes to seduce men. You shouldn't have stayed in the village. When Ma Xiaofeng heard this, she couldn't control her anger. Fine. How dare you scold others and spout nonsense? If your parents don't educate you, I will help them educate you. As Ma Xiaofeng spoke, she rolled up her sleeves and prepared to beat him up. The kids were smart. They knew that Ma Xiaofeng was bigger than them, so they probably couldn't beat her. They all ran away like a gust of wind. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't catch up with them. After a while, the children who bullied Ma Xiaofeng ran away. Ma Xiaofeng didn't chase after them. However, she couldn't get rid of the anger in her heart. Thinking of the children's words, Ma Xiaofeng knew that the villagers were still talking behind their backs about what had happened to their family, especially the gossipy women. They liked to talk about other people's faults and made fun of them. Their family wouldn't be able to raise their heads in the village. Ma Xiaofeng felt like there was something pressing down on her heart. She felt like she couldn't breathe. Chapter 1685. Sob sob sob, sob sob sob. Ma Xiaofeng rushed to Ma Xiaoyu when she saw her crying pitifully. She asked Ma Xiaoyu, "Xiaoyu, what's wrong? Are you in pain? Let me take a look." Ma Xiaoyu shook her head. I'm fine. Then why are you crying? Sob sob sob. They're scolding me, you and Mom. I feel terrible when I hear that. Sob sob sob, sis, they're too much. Ma Xiaofeng sighed when she heard that. How could she feel good about it? Ma Xiaofeng patted the back of Ma Xiaoyu's hand and said, "Xiaoyu, let's not listen to what others say. It's fine as long as we know what we're like." Ma Xiaoyu answered in a voice as soft as a mosquito's. Ma Xiaofeng's heart ached when she saw her younger brother being bullied to this extent. She quickly comforted Ma Xiaoyu. "Xiaoyu, let's bear with it a little longer. Trust me, I'll definitely lead you and Mom to a good life. I'll never let you be bullied again." Since they couldn't stay in the village any longer, she had to think of a way. If they had the money, they could move out of the village and live in Yang City or a town. No one would recognize them and they wouldn't say such things again. She was fine with it, mainly because she couldn't accept it when she saw others bullying Ma Xiaofeng and her younger brother. Ma Xiaoyu was already exhausted from taking care of them as a young child. Now she had to endure the bullying and scolding of the other children in the village. Sob sob sob. Ma Xiaoyu sobbed and wiped away the tears at the corners of her eyes. She looked very sad. Ma Xiaofeng tugged at Ma Xiaoyu's hand and said, "All right, Xiaoyu, let's go. Let's go home. You're injured. I'll treat it for you. Also, your clothes are dirty. You'll have to change quickly." Ma Xiaoyu answered and tidied up the wild vegetables that she had dug. Ma Xiaofeng sighed. Although she wasn't the one who was injured this time, she felt even sadder. Mulan went to the house on the mountain. Seeing Mulan in a daze, Zhao Yun'er went up to her and asked with concern, "Sister-in-law Mulan, what's wrong?" Mulan was slightly stunned. She snapped back to her senses and pursed her lips. "It's nothing. It's obvious that you're lying. How can you say that it's nothing?" Zhao Yun'er glanced at Mu. She knew that when she was a liar, she would always blink her eyes listlessly. Mulan sighed and told him what had happened earlier. When Zhao Yun'er heard that, she was very angry. The Mu family, what they doing? She was they now question mark. She sympathized with Mulan's experience. At the same time, she agreed with what Mulan had done. Those people had to be taught a lesson when they came to cause trouble. Otherwise, they would not know their place and continue to cause trouble. "Sister-in-law Mulan, tell me the next time they come. I'll use a knife to scare them. Let's see if they're still afraid of death." Zhao Yun'er reminded Mulan. Yes, I know, Yun'er, but I can't trouble you with this. I know how to deal with them myself. The only thing I'm worried about now is that my grandmother and the others will sue me to the authorities." Mulan sighed as she spoke. There was a trace of worry between her brows. Chapter 1686. I hope so. At that time, we can only count on the county deputy to make the decision. After Mulan's family moved, they began to prepare lunch. There were several rooms in the new house. The family lived in a very spacious house, much better than the previous one. Mulan and Zhu Eru shared a room, the children shared a room, Muhin shared a room, and there was also a living room. A kitchen. The foundation was very large. They could open up a vegetable garden in the front yard or the back of the mountain. When they planted some vegetables, it would be much more convenient for the family to cook. The only inconvenient thing now was to get water. However, when the well in Zhao Yun'er's house was built, it would be much more convenient for the two families to use the water in the well. It was okay to make do during this period of time. After moving to the new house, the happiest people were Mulan's children. They were used to living in a small house since they were young. Now that they suddenly lived in a big house, they were naturally very happy. "Mom, our house is so big." "Yes, Mom, our house is so good now. The room we live in is even bigger than the previous house." "Mom, the house is so bright. It looks so good." "Mom, our new house is so great. The bed is so big and comfortable. I like the new house so much." Seeing the happy faces of Dehua and Erhua, the sadness on Mulan's face faded a little. She smiled and said to Dehua, Erhua and San, "It's good that you like it. In the future, our family will live in this big house." Mom, good. After lunch, we will pick some wildflowers back and decorate the house," Dehua said excitedly. Children liked flowers, especially Dehua and Erhua. Mulan smiled and nodded. "Okay, then you go and pick them. But be careful. Don't get into trouble. Got it, Ma. Mulan smiled and moved the vegetables out of the house. For lunch, she prepared cold cucumber, braised eggplant and green pepper fried rice. In addition, she hadn't finished the salted meat that she learned from Xiaoyun. Usually she couldn't bear to eat it. These things wouldn't spoil easily if they were placed in a cool place in the house. Therefore there were still quite a few left. Mulan cut off a large piece of meat and prepared to stir-fry it with the garlic moss. It would taste even more fragrant and delicious. When moving today, Zhao Yuner and Zhao Tianan both helped a lot. Mulan said to Zhao Yuner and Zhao Tianan, Tianan, you must be tired from helping me move today. Why don't you have lunch at my house? I'll cook a few more dishes. Don't refuse. Zhao Yuner said with a smile, Sister Mulan, I won't stand on ceremony with you, but I can't have lunch at your house today. I have to go back to cook. If you want to stay for lunch, just ask my brother, Tianan, to stay. Mulan didn't argue. She knew that Zhao Yuner's meals were basically prepared by Zhao Yuner, so she nodded and said, Okay, then you go back to work. Let Tianan stay for lunch. Ah, okay. At this time, Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin were together. Although the house was built, Mulan's yard wasn't ready. Mulan didn't plan to use bricks to fence it. Bricks were more expensive and their family didn't have that much money. It was more practical to save the money to buy more food for the children. As for the yard wall, they might as well use a little fence to prevent small animals from entering. Chapter 1687. The two of them were about the same age and looked like a perfect match. Zhao Tianan was a little shy. His face and ears were slightly red as he chatted and laughed with Mu Hin. Zhao Yun couldn't help but smile when she saw this. In fact, love at this age was very pure and beautiful. It was not easy for the two children to be together. Fortunately, Zhao Tianan didn't stubbornly stay with Ma Xiaofeng. Otherwise she wouldn't know what to do. If their family married a lousy daughter-in-law like Ma Xiaofeng, it would be a disaster for the third branch. She would be the one who would be annoyed if things turned upside down later. Mulan laughed in Zhao Tianan's direction. Tianan, stay at my house for lunch today. Zhao Tianan smiled shyly. That's not very good, is it? What's wrong with that? It's a deal. You'll have lunch at my house today. Otherwise, I won't let you help me later. Zhao Huanan hesitated for a moment. That, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but laugh when she saw that her brother didn't take the bait. Tianan, just eat when you're allowed to. We'll be family in the future. Why are you being so polite? Mulan followed behind and replied, That's right. We'll be family in the future. Why are you being so polite now? Zhao Tianan lowered his head even more. He was too embarrassed to look at Mulan and Zhao Yun. Mu Hin covered her mouth and snickered at the side. Tianan, I think my sister and the others are right. You should stay and eat. Zhao Tianan nodded and replied, Okay. Zhao Yuner and Mulan looked at each other. As expected, their words were not as good as Mu Hin's. Zhao Tianan listened more. Then, sister-in-law Mulan, you go ahead. I'm going back to cook. Okay. Mulan replied. Zhao Yuner walked a few steps and went back. In June, when the family's fields were busy, they often had to go to the fields to weed or water the fields. Previously, when Zhao Wenhua was busy building the house, her fourth uncle and his family were the ones taking care of the fields. Now that he was free, he naturally didn't want to continue troubling others. Early in the morning, Zhao Wenhua went to the fields to work. When she returned, she was tidying up the courtyard. Zhao Yuner is also planning to make a fence wall for the yard at home. She will add some Chinese roses and morning glories. When the time comes, it will definitely look very beautiful. It will definitely be better than a brick wall. He just had to bring back more wooden sticks and tidy them up properly. She couldn't help much with this, so she had to trouble Zhao Wenhua. At noon, Zhao Yuner casually made some food. Although there were no meat dishes, the taste was not bad. The family ate very comfortably. Now that they moved to a new house with a brick house and an attic, it was much cooler inside the house. They would think about how to get rid of the heat in the summer. Chapter 1688. Yes, that's natural. After Jing wedding is over, it will be Tianhu's turn. Our old Zhao family's happy events really come one after another. Isn't that so? This year our old Zhao family's luck is good. Happy events come one after another. We have received the old ancestor's blessing. Zhao Yun couldn't stand it. She had to bring the old ancestor into the picture again. She had to say that the old ancestor was blessing her. Okay, father, mother, I'm going to collect the gift money. Zhao Yun quickly said. Okay. The few people who came were from the village. They specially sent the gift money after Zhao Yuner moved. They knew that Zhao Yuner's family must have been busy moving yesterday. Zhao Yun smiled and took the gift money. At the same time, she prepared a book and took a brush to record it. She had to remember how many things the villagers sent. When other people's families had happy events, her family would have to return the gifts. The village was like this. After the people sent the gifts, they took a few glances at Zhao Yun's house. They sighed at Zhao Yun's new house and went back. After De Hua and San ran to pick wildflowers, they specially came to Zhao Yun's house. They held a large bouquet of flowers and handed it to Zhao Yun. Aunt Yun. Zhao Yun saw the children coming over and smiled. What's wrong? Aunt Yun, these are the wildflowers we picked. We sent some over for you. You can put them in your house. They look good. They're also a little fragrant. Zhao Yun glanced at the wildflowers in the children's hands. There were wild begonia and some unknown wildflowers. They were colorful and really looked good. She stretched her nose and sniffed. There was a faint fragrance. It's so fragrant and beautiful. Thank you. Zhao Yun didn't stand on ceremony and took the flowers from the children. Aunt Yun, you're welcome. The children all had bright smiles on their faces. Zhao Yun couldn't help but smile as well. She felt that the children were a little cute. Aunt Yun, then we will go back first. All right. Zhao Yun replied. She really had to put up the flowers the children had sent her. Zhao Yun just so happened to have some ceramic jars in her house, and they were perfect for flower arrangements. Looking at the flowers in her hand, Zhao Yun planned to put some in her room, some in the living room and the rest in the attic. In the attic, Zhao Yun had placed 2 tables, one of which was a small round table. When they had nothing to do, they could come up and drink tea. The view from the attic was good, and they could see the bottom of the mountain. What came into their eyes was a crisp color. There was also a rectangular table with a bookshelf behind it. There were some books on it. There were also brushes, ink, paper and inkstones on the table. These were for Mu Lianfeng and Daodu to read. At this time, Zhao Yun had put up the flowers that the children had picked, adding a touch of bright color to the attic. It was really pleasing to the eye. There was a cool breeze blowing in the attic and it was very comfortable. Zhao Yun felt that it would be good to get a chaise lounge. When the time came, they could lie in the attic and take a nap in the cool breeze. Just as she finished putting up the flowers, Liang Jinxiao's voice came from downstairs. Yun. Zhao Yun replied, Mother, what's wrong? That child Lu Lei is here. Hearing Liang Jinxiao mention Lu Lei, Zhao Yun frowned and was a little puzzled. Lu Lei? Why did Lu Lei suddenly come to their house? Chapter 1689. When she went downstairs, she saw Lu Lei standing in front of her house with a silly smile on his face. Brother Lei, why are you here? Zhao Yun asked politely. It's nothing big. Your family just built a new house and is going to hold a banquet. I heard from the other villagers, so I came over to give you a gift. Brother Lei, you're too polite. Of course. We're all from the same village, so we have to celebrate with each other. Okay, Brother Lei. Zhao Yun didn't stand on ceremony. She didn't reject Lu Lei's offer and took the gift money very readily. Lu Lei stared at Zhao Yun's eyes and looked away reluctantly from Zhao Yun's face. He had nothing to say and had to leave, but he couldn't bear to leave. Ever since he married Xiaohong, his life hadn't been very good. Although Lu Hong treated him well, Xiaohong was too controlling. Sometimes she would get angry and jealous for no reason, so he was very tired. When he was with a woman's understanding was very important. He didn't like it when women were jealous and angry for no reason. He also didn't like it when women were suspicious of him for no reason. But now that he was married to Xiaohong, he could only bear with it and make do with his life. Brother Lei, do you want to come in and rest for a while and have a glass of water? Zhao Yun saw that Lu Lei had no intention of leaving, but she didn't want to chase him away. Seeing that it was awkward to just stand there, Zhao Yun could only greet him. Before Lu Lei could answer, someone suddenly jumped out and pointed at Zhao Yun and started scolding her. Zhao Yun, you shameless woman. Are you going to seduce someone again? You even asked my man to come to your house to rest and have a glass of water. What are you trying to do? Zhao Yun was slightly stunned. She didn't expect Xiaohong to suddenly appear. Lu Lei didn't seem to expect it either. Why are you here? Xiaohong looked at Zhao Yun angrily and then complained to Lu Lei, Husband, I was wondering why you were sneaking around. It turns out that you came to find Zhao Yun. Lu Lei furrowed his brows and asked unhappily, So you followed me? How am I following you? I just want to see what you're doing here. Sure enough, you're doing something behind my back. You actually came to look for Zhao Yun? You. When Lu Lei heard Xiaohong's words, he felt very tired. He came to look for Zhao Yuner in secret because he was afraid that Xiaohong would get suspicious and let her imagination run wild. Previously he had only helped Zhao Yuner get some wild candles, but Xiaohong had misunderstood and made everyone very embarrassed. This time he simply came over secretly. Xiaohong couldn't see him, so she naturally wouldn't let her imagination run wild. I didn't come here to do anything shameful. What's wrong with coming here? Lu Lei couldn't take it anymore and replied. Chapter 1690. Zhao Yun couldn't help but roll her eyes in her heart. What the hell was she talking about? She didn't ask Lu Lei to stay on purpose. It was just a casual remark, but in Xiaohong's eyes, it sounded like she was doing it on purpose. Enough. Can you stop making wild guesses when you have nothing better to do? Don't let your imagination run wild. What are you talking about? Xiaohong bit her lower lip and stood in front of Lu Lei. She said aggrievedly, "Husband, I know you've been bewitched by that vixen, so I don't blame you. It's all Zhao Yuner's fault." Zhao Yun felt like she had been implicated for no reason. She didn't covet Xiaohong at all, but Xiaohong didn't believe her and insisted on blaming her. Lu Lei was speechless. He sighed and tugged at Xiaohong's arm. "All right, can you stop making a fuss? I didn't come to Yuner's place for anything. I just saw that Yuner's family was going to hold a banquet, so I wanted to give Yun some money as a gift. When we got married, Yun you gave it to us. Shouldn't we return the favor?" Xiaohong was slightly taken aback when she heard Lu Lei's words. She didn't seem to believe Lu Lei. "Husband, is that really the case? What else could it be? Yuner's gift money is still in her hand." Xiaohong glanced at it and saw that it was indeed the case. Zhao Yuner was holding the gift money in her hand. "Husband, if that's the case, why did you sneak over? Just tell me directly and I'll send it over." Xiaohong pursed her lips, still feeling aggrieved. "If I told you, wouldn't you let your imagination run wild too? Why don't I not tell you and send it over myself secretly? That way I won't have to go through so much trouble." When Xiaohong heard Lu Lei's words, she felt that Lu Lei was secretly criticizing her for being insensible. "Husband, when have I been such an unreasonable person?" Lu Lei continued to sigh. "Aren't you now? Aren't you maligning Yuner and me? I just can't stand her behavior. You should have left after giving her the gift money. Why did she keep you? Aren't you afraid of being seen by others and spreading rumors? She was just being polite. Why do you think so much of it? Why did he have to judge others by his own standards? Are we husband and wife now? Since I married you and you don't trust me at all, how are we going to live in the future?" All right, let's go back now. Stop messing around in front of Yuner's house," Lu Lei said angrily. Xiaohong seemed to have realized that she had indeed been a little too rash this time. Even so, she still felt that she should be wary of Zhao Yuner. "Yes, husband," Xiaohong responded. Then she walked in front of Lu Lei and hugged him. She looked very intimate with Lu Lei. Zhao Yuner knew that Xiaohong was purposely asserting her sovereignty in front of her. She couldn't be bothered to argue with such a woman. Speaking of which, she was also a pitiful person. A woman who lived in fear every day, afraid that her man would be seduced by another woman. What meaning was there in her life? After waiting for Xiaohong to leave, Zhao Yun returned to the house. In the afternoon, people from the village came one after another. They were all here to give gifts. However, the gifts from the village weren't much. Basically, they were only a few dozen copper coins. She probably wouldn't earn much from the banquet. Zhao Wenhua went to the house and found a saw. He began to gesture at the wood. "Yuner, how big do you want it to be?" Zhao Yuner gestured at the saw. When Zhao Wenhua heard it, he understood Zhao Yuner's intention and began to work according to Zhao Yuner's request. Soon, Zhao Wenhua finished sawing the whole piece of wood. "Yuner, have you seen enough?" Chapter 1692. Haha, it's good that it's enough. If it's not enough, tell me and I'll make more. Zhao Yun responded. Zhao Yun first polished the wooden planks on the ground, then took out nails and hammered the wooden planks together. After spending an hour, he finally made a wooden box. Zhao Yun deliberately added a few more layers around the wooden box, so that the box's airtightness would be better. As for the inside of the box, Zhao Yun made some paste and sealed the box with some sand. This would ensure that the box would not be exposed to the wind. The ice cubes would not melt so quickly when placed inside. The box was neither big nor small and could fit quite a lot of vegetables inside. She made a lid on top of it and covered it directly. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao stared at the side. When they saw that Zhao Yuner had only made a box after a long time, they were even more confused. Can the leftovers in this box prevent them from going bad? Liang Jinxiao could not help but ask. Zhao Yun was amused by Liang Jinxiao. Of course not. Mother, don't be anxious. You'll know later. Ah. Liang Jinxiao responded, haha, okay. Mother will wait. Zhao Yun took the box outside to dry it. The sun was shining brightly on this hot day. After a while, the paste on the box dried. Zhao Yun looked at it and began to take out saltpeter to make some ice cubes. The thick ice cubes were broken and spread in the box. Zhao Yun then covered the box with a lid and found a tattered quilt that she did not want. Father, mother, this will do. Zhao Yun said with a smile. Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua looked at each other. Won't the ice melt easily if it's placed inside? It's such a hot day and you're still holding onto the quilt. Won't it melt faster? That's right. Yuner girl, you should also store the ice for one night, right? Even if you put the food in there, I don't think it will last long. When the ice melts, the food inside won't be so cold anymore, and the food will go bad again. Yuner, are you sure this will work? Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao spoke one after another, as if they did not believe that the box was so magical. If the ice cubes were placed inside for an entire night, they would definitely melt into water. Mother, you don't know, do you? Covering it with a quilt will not only prevent it from melting, but will also slow it down. How could that be? Liang Jinxiao muttered. This quilt has a thermal insulation function. It's cool inside and the cold air will be solidified. It's not easy for the hot air outside to get in. Zhao Yun explained. Is that so? Can it really be stored for one night? Zhao Yun nodded. It should be possible. As long as it lasts for one night, we can continue to put in more ice cubes the next day. The food definitely won't go bad if it's placed inside. Then let's try it tonight. Ah, okay. Zhao Yun was very confident in the simple refrigerator she made. She could make a few more of this refrigerator later and send one to Mulan's family. They would definitely be able to use it. Seeing the simple refrigerator that was made, Zhao Yun couldn't wait to make some herbal tea and other things to put in it. It was very easy to get heat stroke on such a hot day. It would be good to make some iced mung bean soup. Chapter 1693. Mother, I'm going to cook some mung bean soup. Now. Yes. It's still early. Cook some mung bean soup and put it in ice later. Eat some after dinner. Liang Jinxiao responded, all right then I'll cook some. Let's see if what you make is useful. Okay. Zhao Yun made some mung beans. This thing was not rare in the countryside and was not expensive. It was about the same price as rice. A large pot of mung bean soup probably cost less than 10 copper coins. After washing the mung beans, she put them in the pot to cook. When they were done, she added sugar and left them to cool. When Zhao Yun'er came out of the kitchen, she saw a figure looking left and right in front of her house. It was none other than Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng looked into the house as if she was looking for someone. Zhao Yun'er's eyebrows twisted. This woman began to run to her house in a dishonest manner again? What are you doing? Zhao Yun'er asked. Ma Xiaofeng looked in the direction of Zhao Yun'er's voice. Sister Yun. Ma Xiaofeng's face immediately lit up with a smile and called out sweetly to Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er did not give Ma Xiaofeng any face. Instead, she asked indifferently, Sister Xiaofeng, why are you here? Ma Xiaofeng moved closer to Zhao Yun'er and said intimately, Sister Yun'er, I heard that your family built a new house and is going to hold a banquet, so I wanted to send some money as a gift to celebrate. Everyone in our village came to give it to you. Seeing the flattering smile on Ma Xiaofeng's face, Zhao Yun'er felt that it was very fake. Unfortunately, this woman herself did not seem to feel it. Zhao Yun'er still had an indifferent attitude. There's no need to be so polite. Little sister Xiaofeng's family isn't having an easy time now. It's better to keep the money for your family to spend. It's fine as long as I know what you're thinking. Ma Xiaofeng was slightly stunned. She understood what Zhao Yun'er meant. On the surface, Zhao Yun'er was polite to her as if she was considerate of her. In fact, she just didn't want to accept her gift money and didn't want to have anything to do with her family. Sister Yun'er, my family isn't that poor right now. We earned some money from setting up a stall with Sister Pinger, and we haven't used it all yet. He was still able to fork out a few dozen copper coins as a gift. Sister Yun'er, you don't have to be so polite with me. As Ma Xiaofeng spoke, she stuffed a few dozen copper coins into Zhao Yun'er's hands. The corners of Zhao Yun'er's mouth curled up into a meaningful smile. Was she trying to curry favor with her? Little sister Xiaofeng, isn't it better to buy something good for your mother to nourish her body? As Zhao Yun'er spoke, she stuffed the copper coins back into Ma Xiaofeng's hands. A trace of unwillingness flashed across Ma Xiaofeng's eyes. The corners of her mouth twitched and her smile looked awkward. Sister Yuner, actually you don't have to be so polite with me. It makes us seem very distant. It's just a few dozen copper coins. My mother's body doesn't lack these few dozen copper coins to nourish her body. Zhao Yuner chuckled and replied, her tone carrying a bit of sarcasm and alienation. Little sister Xiaofeng, when were we familiar with each other? Sister Yuner, with Zhao Yuner directly exposing their relationship, Ma Xiaofeng was very embarrassed. She didn't expect Zhao Yuner to be so rude. She didn't care about her face at all. Chapter 1694. So, little sister Xiaofeng, you don't have to be polite. You should take the money back. Besides, if I accept your gift money for my family's banquet, it would be inconvenient for you and your mother to come over to eat. I still have to accept this favor. I can't return it to you. Ma Xiaofeng looked at the dozens of copper coins in her hand, and she felt very uncomfortable. Zhao Yuner accepted the gifts from others, but she didn't accept hers. This kind of differential treatment made Ma Xiaofeng feel even more uncomfortable in her heart. She didn't do anything wrong to Zhao Yuner before. Ma Xiaofeng really didn't understand why Zhao Yuner had such a big prejudice against her. Little sister Xiaofeng, is there anything else? If there's nothing else, I still have something to do. I won't entertain you. Ma Xiaofeng wanted to say something, but when she saw Zhao Yuner's cold and indifferent face, she suddenly stopped talking. Okay. Then Sister Yun, I'll forget it. Ma Xiaofeng said with some hypocrisy. Little sister Xiaofeng, take care. Come and play again when you have time. Zhao Yuner smiled and greeted her. Okay, Sister Yun. Ma Xiaofeng's mouth pulled out a smile and she also faked a smile. After leaving Zhao Yuner's house, Ma Xiaofeng's mood was a little lost. She knew in her heart that in old Zhao's family, the highest status was still Zhao Yuner. The third branch had to listen to Zhao Yuner for everything. If Zhao Yuner didn't agree, the other people in the third branch would definitely consider it. Even if she provoked the relationship between Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin, so what if Zhao Tianan changed his mind? If Zhao Yuner didn't agree, would she still stick to Zhao Tianan? Did she want to change someone now? Find someone better than Zhao Tianan? However, she knew everyone in the village. How could it be easy to find someone better than Zhao Tianan? Ma Xiaofeng walked back with some frustration. Suddenly, she saw a man standing not far behind Zhao Yuner's new house. This man was tall and handsome, and his temperament was even more outstanding. This person was none other than Mu Lianfeng. Which woman wouldn't like a man with such good looks and a good family background? Ma Xiaofeng's heart trembled slightly when she saw Mu Lianfeng standing not far away. Wouldn't it be great if she could have some sort of relationship with this kind of proud son of heaven? Unfortunately, Ma Xiaofeng knew her limits. What was her status and what was Mu Lianfeng's status? The difference between the two of them was too big. It was not easy to gain Mu Lianfeng's favor. Not everyone in the world was as lucky as Zhao Yuner. But on second thought, wasn't Zhao Yuner just an ordinary country girl? Why could Zhao Yuner do it but she couldn't? Logically speaking, she was younger than Zhao Yuner. Which man didn't like young women and liked older women? Ma Xiaofeng saw that Mu Lianfeng's clothes were caught in the thorns on the ground. She hurriedly ran over to Mu Lianfeng. Lord Heir, don't pull. If you pull with all your strength, I reckon that you'll tear your clothes. Ma Xiaofeng moved closer to Mu Lianfeng and said softly. Mu Lianfeng raised his head and glanced at Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng smiled and explained, Lord Heir, these thorns have barbs. The more you pull, the easier it will tear your clothes. Your clothes are so expensive. Wouldn't it be a waste if they tear? Let me help you. Chapter 1695. After it was done, Ma Xiaofeng got up from the ground and smiled at Mu Lianfeng. Shiziyi, it's done. Fortunately, the clothes aren't ruined. Otherwise, it would be a pity. Mu Lianfeng looked at the clothes that were taken off. Although he was not used to Ma Xiaofeng's sudden enthusiasm, Mu Lianfeng still thanked her. Thank you. Ma Xiaofeng was flattered and waved her hand. Shiziyi, you're too polite. It's just a small matter. Mu Lianfeng nodded politely and smiled. This smile was quite magnificent. Ma Xiaofeng was stunned. The feeling that emerged in her heart was that Mu Lianfeng was really too handsome and good-looking. This kind of man was really a stunner. He was really the best. It was rare to see such a good-looking man. When Mu Lianfeng was about to turn around and leave, Ma Xiaofeng suddenly called out to Mu Lianfeng. Shiziyi, wait a moment. Mu Lianfeng stopped and turned to Ma Xiaofeng. Is there anything else? Ma Xiaofeng opened her mouth and found that she had nothing to say to Mu Lianfeng. She couldn't even start a conversation. If she forced herself to say something, she would only feel awkward. No. Nothing. Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but look at Ma Xiaofeng a few more times. He felt that Ma Xiaofeng's behavior was a little strange. She clearly had something to say, but in the end she didn't say it. Since there's nothing else, I'll go back first. Okay. Looking at Mu Lianfeng's tall and straight back as he left, Ma Xiaofeng couldn't help but sigh. Mu Lianfeng was really a man among men. Why was Zhao Yun so lucky to win Mu Lianfeng's heart? Compared to Zhao Tianan, after seeing Mu Lianfeng, Ma Xiaofeng realized how low her requirements were. Her request for men was limited to the village. Zhao Tianan's conditions were indeed good in the village. With a brother-in-law like Mu Lianfeng to rely on, his life would not be too bad. But at the end of the day, you are still an ordinary person. If she wanted to find someone, she should find someone with money and status just like Mu Lianfeng. If she could get close to someone rich and powerful, she would be able to lead her mother and younger brother's family of 3 to live a good life. She wouldn't have to worry about her mother and her being scolded and gossiped by the villagers. She also wouldn't have to worry about Ma Xiaoyu being bullied by the children in the same village. Ma Xiaofeng withdrew her hand from Mu Lianfeng's body and went back with a thoughtful look on her face. When Mu Lianfeng returned to Zhao Yun'er's house, Zhao Yun'er had already cooked the mung bean soup and put it on the stove to let it cool down. The weather was very hot. When Mu Lianfeng came back from the mountain, his forehead was covered with a thick layer of sweat beads. Mu Lianfeng, do you want to drink some mung bean soup? Zhao Yun'er brought a bowl of mung bean soup to Mu Lianfeng and asked. Mu Lianfeng smiled and took it. At this moment he was thirsty. Unexpectedly, Zhao Yun'er just handed a bowl of mung bean soup to him. Zhao Yun'er added a few pieces of ice, so the mung bean soup was cold. When he drank it, it was very cool. This mung bean soup was very thirst-quenching and tasted very good. When he drank it, he felt a lot more comfortable. After drinking it, Mu Lianfeng wiped the corners of his mouth and wiped the sweat beads on his forehead. It's as delicious as the sour plum soup. Yun'er, no one can be better than you when it comes to serving these things. Mu Lianfeng was not stingy with his praise. Chapter 1696. Indeed, Yun'er, you did a good job. I'm not the only one who's greedy, Mu Lianfeng said with a smile. When his laughter came, Mu Lianfeng's smile made people feel like they were bathing in the spring breeze. In this hot summer, it made people feel a little cool. Seeing Zhao Yun'er staring at him, Mu Lianfeng touched his face and said, Yun'er, why are you looking at me like that? Is there something on my face? Zhao Yun'er shook her head. No, I'm looking at you because you're good-looking and have a nice smile. You're such a good-looking person. Don't you want me to look at you? Mu Lianfeng shook his head. Of course not. Since Yun'er likes to look at me, you can look at me as much as you want. After Mu Lianfeng finished a bowl of soup and Zhao Yun'er also filled a bowl, the heat of the afternoon dissipated by more than half. Compared to sour plum soup, mung bean soup was better at relieving the heat. Zhao Yun'er remembered that when she was young, she followed her grandparents. Every summer during the busy farming season, her grandmother would cook a big pot of mung bean soup for them. Every time she came back and didn't have an appetite, she would drink more mung bean soup. After drinking it, she would feel cool and her appetite would be much better. Zhao Yun'er then called Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua to drink some. Although the two of them had eaten mung bean soup before, they had never missed the ice cubes. Compared to Zhao Yun'er, they were naturally much worse. The large pot of mung bean soup was not small. Zhao Yun'er went to bring some to Mulan. Zhu Eru just came back from working outside. He was bare-chested and stuffed with some black clothes. At this time Zhu Eru's skin was bronze. At a glance it was obvious that he often worked in the fields. Men who worked hard in the countryside were all like this. At this time, although Zhu Eru had taken off his clothes, there were still a lot of sweat beads on his body. The sweat kept flowing down his skin as if he had been drenched in the rain. Probably because it was too hot, Zhu Eru poured cold water into his mouth while fanning himself with a fan. Mulan saw that her husband was so tired, so she said to Zhu Eru, Honey, wait a minute. I'll go to the room and bring you some cold water. You can wipe your body with some cold water. You'll cool down soon. Zhu Eru replied, All right. As soon as Mulan came out with a basin of cold water, Zhao Yun'er brought the mung bean soup over. Come, I've brought you some delicious food. Zhao Yun'er greeted them with a smile. Mulan's children excitedly surrounded Zhao Yun'er and asked her, Aunt Zhao Yun, what delicious food did you bring for me today? Aunt Yun, what delicious food did you bring? Zhao Yun'er smiled and pointed to the mung bean soup. It's this mung bean soup. Have you tried it before? The children nodded their heads heavily. They had tried mung bean soup before, but it was not often. It was only a few times. Although mung beans were not expensive, sugar was very expensive. Ordinary people could not afford it. If there was no sugar in the mung bean soup, it would be tasteless. It would not taste good at all. Come drink. Zhao Yuner continued to greet them and handed a bowl to each of them. Mulan also handed a bowl to Zhu Eru. Chapter 1697. Yuner, we don't need to give it to the children. It's enough. Zhao Yu knew that Mulan and Zhu Eru were being polite to her again. She glanced at Mulan and said, Sister-in-law Mulan, it's fine to be polite to others, but why are you being polite to me? Since I'm asking you to drink it, it must be enough. This. Mulan was silent for a while and said with a smile, Since Yuner said so, Eru and I will drink it. Drink it, drink it. It's okay. There's still a lot in the pot at home. Brother Eru just came back from work and is so tired. It's good to drink it to relieve the heat. Zhao Yuner said with a smile. Seeing that Zhao Yuner was so polite and gave everything good to their family, Mulan felt sorry. Yuner, I'll make it myself later and send some to you too. Zhao Yuner didn't stand on ceremony and agreed with a smile. After giving it to Mulan's family, Liang Jinxiao proposed to send some mung bean soup to the fourth branch. Little girl Yun, we actually cooked so much mung bean candy in our family's pot. Why don't we give some to your fourth uncle and fourth aunt? The two of them have helped our family a lot of work these days. Especially your fourth uncle. Your father has been busy with our family's fields recently, so he's been taking care of them all by himself. Otherwise, our rice won't grow well this year and we won't have enough to eat. Zhao Yuner had this plan. Okay, mother. I'll send some to my fourth uncle and fourth aunt. It's good to let them have a taste. Haha, okay. Why don't mother go? You can rest at home. Zhao Yuner waved her hand. No need, mother. I'll go. You're pregnant. It's inconvenient for you to move around. Liang Jinxiao smiled. Okay then. Yuner, you go. Take it slowly. I know, mother. It's not that far away. What can happen? After saying that, Zhao Yuner went to the kitchen and took out a small jar of mung bean soup. She estimated that there were 4 or 5 bowls, which was enough for the fourth branch to drink. Although it was said to relieve the heat, it was cold after all. One couldn't drink too much of it or else one would have a stomachache. When they arrived at the courtyard of old Zhao's house, they found that there was a carriage parked in front of old Zhao's house. It was obviously from a rich family. Zhu Xiaxia was curious. What kind of big shot had come to old Zhao's house again? Could it be Zhao Jinger's future husband? When Zhao Yuner walked into old Zhao's courtyard, she realized that it wasn't young Master Zheng who had come, but Zhao Xinhui. After Zhao Xinhui married young Master Meng, she probably lived a good life every day. Zhao Xinhui basically didn't return to her parents' home. Now that she was back, she made such a big fuss about it, as if she was afraid that others wouldn't know that she was now rich. In old Zhao's courtyard, the other branches all came out and chatted with Zhao Xinhui. Xuanhuan was very happy to hear that Zhao Xinhui was back. A smile appeared on her gloomy face and she looked very excited. Zhao Xinhui was probably the only one who could make Xuanhuan happy. Everyone else treasured their sons, but Xuanhuan was the only one who treasured her youngest daughter. Feng Xianxia warmly cozied up to Zhao Xinhui. You're finally back. I've missed you so much. We're usually together all the time, but now that you're married, we can't even see each other for months. You're finally back today. Hearing Feng Xianxia's words, Zhao Yuner felt the mung bean soup she had just drunk surge up and she almost threw it up. She did not want to spend a day in her parents' home. Shenmu said that the food and living here were not even 1,000th of the good ones in the Meng family. There was no servant to serve her and no one to scold her. She was not happy at all. Now she just hoped that young Master Meng would come to take her back earlier. She wanted to stay less in her parents' home and suffer less. I'll clean up the room for you now. I'll cook something delicious for you in the evening. Hey, I'll catch a chicken for you to eat later. Xuanhuan said and was ready to clean up the room. Chapter 1699. Xuanhuan glared at Zhao Baoshan. Old man, what are you saying? It's not easy for to come back, so I killed a chicken to make something nice for her to eat. What's wrong with that? So what if she's back? Whose family's daughter would be served with such good food? It's as if it's more grand than a festival. Zhao Baoshan snorted, his face full of displeasure. Xuanhuan put her hands on her hips. I say, old man, how can we do as you say? They are different people and is who asked our to have the ability to marry into a good family. She gave us so many good things, so can't she come back to kill a chicken and treat us well? Fine, 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 whatever you say. Zhao Baoshan couldn't be bothered to continue arguing with Xuanhuan. Old man, your temper is too much. Don't bother with your father, he just can't get his head around it. Zhao Xinhui was speechless as she looked at her parents. Her father couldn't bear to kill a chicken for her to eat, so she was naturally unhappy. However, even if Xuanhua killed a chicken for her to eat, she wouldn't care. After living a good life in the Meng residence, Zhao Xinhui didn't care about chickens anymore. She was even too lazy to eat them. Mother, don't tidy up the room first. Hurry and get me a cup of water. I'm dying of thirst after rushing back. If I don't drink some water on such a hot day, I'll feel uncomfortable. Zhao Xinhui used her sleeve to fan herself, feeling uncomfortable from the heat. At this time, her forehead was covered with a thin layer of sweat. She felt that old Zhao's residence was hotter than the Meng residence. There was a courtyard in the Meng residence that was specially used to avoid the heat, so people wouldn't feel too stuffy sitting there to rest. Zhao Xinhui felt that she couldn't stand being cooped up in the carriage after rushing back. Xuanhua chuckled in response. Okay, mother will get you some water first. With that, Xuanhua went back into the room, brought out a cup of water and handed it to Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui gulped down a few mouthfuls. Although she wasn't so thirsty, the heat still didn't dissipate. Mother, our house is so hot, how can we sleep at night? Zhao Xinhui complained. Xuanhua smiled and comforted her. It's okay, it's hot during the day but it's not so hot at night. I'll make you a mat for you to sleep on it. It's still hot. Zhao Xinhui muttered. Zhao, I don't know how you've been living before. For so many years you've been in the summer at home all these years for so many years Zhao. You use, to it su. You. Go back and enjoy life. Father. Zhao Xinhui felt embarrassed when she heard Zhao Baoshan's scolding. Xuanhua quickly defended her. Old man, what are you saying? Zhao Yuner only found it funny and asked coldly, Eldest uncle, eldest aunt, second uncle, you are really joking. I sent mung bean soup to fourth uncle and fourth aunt because my father has been busy building the house, and fourth uncle has been helping with all the work in our family's fields. Now that I have something to give to fourth uncle and fourth aunt, it's only right. If you help my family with the work in the fields, then I will send some to you too. After Zhao Yuner finished speaking, the few of them stopped talking. Chapter 1701. Yuner, it's not right for you to say that. We're all relatives and your elders. What's wrong with giving us some food? Do we have to work for your family in exchange? Zhao Wenshui muttered. He was too lazy to help Zhao Yuner's family work, but he wanted to drink some mung bean soup, so he said that. Feng Xianxia followed Zhao Wenshui and replied, That's right. Little girl Yun, why are you still being so calculative? We don't have to drink much, just give us less. Zhao Yuner sneered. How thick-skinned must they be to say such words? She had already made it so clear, but these people were still chasing after her. Second uncle and eldest aunt really know how to joke. Even blood-related brothers settle accounts clearly. Why should I, a married woman, be filial to you? So what if you're my elders? Zhao Yuner's reply made Zhao Wenshui and Feng Xianxia choke. What she said was reasonable. A married daughter was like spilled water. She didn't even need to care about her parents, so how could she be filial to other elders? There's no free lunch in this world. I'll only give them food if they help me. There's no free lunch. If second uncle and eldest aunt encounter a free lunch next time, remember to call me. I'll join in the fun and take advantage of it. Zhao Wenshui and Feng Xiangxia's expressions were a little ugly. They knew that Zhao Yuner wasn't easy to deal with. If they wanted the mung bean soup, not only would they not get it, but they would also be humiliated by Zhao Yuner. Seeing that these people had stopped making trouble, Zhao Yuner withdrew the coldness in her eyes. She turned to Zhao Wentao and Chen Hongzhao and said, Fourth uncle, fourth aunt, hurry up and drink it. This thing is cold now and relieves the heat. It won't be cold for a long time and the taste will be a little worse. Zhao Wentao and Chen Hongzhao nodded with a smile. Okay, we'll drink it right away. As she spoke, Chen Zhaozhao went into the house and took out a few bowls. She poured some for the children at home first. Then the couple picked up the bowls and drank the remaining mung bean soup. The mung bean soup was sweet. After adding ice cubes, it was a little cold. Tasted very good in the mouth. Good. Zhao Wentao gulped a few mouthfuls of mung bean soup into his stomach. After drinking it, he felt a lot more refreshed, and the heat in his body had mostly subsided. He suddenly felt very comfortable. Yuner girl, the food you gave me is really good. Apart from being delicious, It can quench my thirst and relieve the heat. Now I feel that my stomach is very cool. It's better to drink this on a hot day than anything else. Xianxia wiped the corner of her mouth. After drinking the mung bean soup, she smiled and said, "Yes. On such a hot day, people's appetites were not good. Drinking this would make them feel much better. It was even better than eating fish and meat. I feel like most of the heat in my body has been taken away. Drinking water is not so effective." Zhao Yuner chuckled. "Fourth uncle, fourth aunt, it's good that you like it. This thing isn't worth much, but it's suitable for drinking in this weather." "Yes." Zhao Xinhui's heart skipped a beat when she heard that. She was feeling unbearably hot and had no appetite. Was Zhao Yuner's mung bean soup really that effective? If she drank it, she wouldn't be as hot as she was now, right? Zhao Xinhui thought for a moment, then asked Yuner, "Yuner girl, do you still have mung bean soup at home?" Chapter 1702. What's the matter, younger aunt? Zhao Yuner raised her eyebrows and asked. Zhao Xinhui raised her chin. Don't misunderstand. I'm not like second brother and eldest sister-in-law who ask you for free. Go back and make some mung bean soup for me. I'll pay you. Zhao Xinhui thought that Zhao Yuner would definitely sell the soup as long as she paid. Zhao Yuner directly refused. Younger aunt, I'm sorry. My mung bean soup is for myself. It's not for sale. Zhao Xinhui's face suddenly darkened. She said to Zhao Yuner in displeasure, "You can give it to fourth brother and fourth sister-in-law for free. Why can't you sell it to me? It's not like I'm asking you for free." Zhao Yuner disliked Zhao Xinhui's current attitude the most. Did she think that she could have whatever she wanted just because she had some money in her hands? Being with young Master Meng, she was covered in the stench of money. It was very disgusting. Younger aunt, if I'm not selling, then I'm not selling. Don't tell me you want to force me to sell it? Zhao Yuner asked with a sneer. You. Zhao Xinhui glared at Zhao Yuner angrily. This wretched girl deliberately made her feel uncomfortable. Xuanhuan's sharp ears overheard the conversation between Zhao Xinhui and Zhao Yuner. She rushed out of the room angrily, walked to Zhao Yuner, and scolded Zhao Yuner. I say, Yuner girl, why are you so stingy? Can't you just sell some mung bean soup to your younger aunt? What's wrong? Is it my fault that you don't want to sell my things? Zhao Yuner asked jokingly. You did it on purpose. Xuanhua glared at Zhao Yuner angrily. I did it on purpose. What's wrong with that? You, wretched girl. Xuanhua stomped her feet angrily. Zhao Yuner didn't take Xuanhua seriously at all. Her voice was neither cold nor indifferent. Younger aunt, I'm not that short of money, so I don't want to make money by selling these things. Next time, don't say that you want to buy things with money in front of me. If I'm willing to give it to you, I'll give it to you even if you don't want it. If you don't want it, then you won't get it even if you spend money. Zhao Xinhui's resentful gaze fell on Zhao Yuner. This be. Fourth uncle, fourth aunt, then I'll go back first. Zhao Yuner greeted them with a smile, and then left the courtyard of old Zhao's house. Xuanhua looked at Zhao Yuner's back and scolded, this wretched girl. She's getting more and more outrageous. She doesn't know the rules at all. She'll say that old Zhao's daughter has no manners. Feng Xianxia pursed her lips and said in a sour tone, that's right. It's fine if she doesn't let us drink it. Younger aunt doesn't want to sell it even if we spend money. The third branch is living a good life now. They have good food and drink and they don't care about money. We can't compare to them. Haha, no matter how good the third branch is living, it's their business. It has nothing to do with us. We shouldn't have separated from the family in the first place. Xuanhua felt a burst of regret. If the third branch was part of the family, they would have to share it with them now. Everyone would be able to live a good life. Zhao Baoshan's cold words drifted into Xuanhua's ears. Now you're saying that. If we hadn't separated from the family, would you have eaten shit? Speaking of eating shit, Xuanhua's face suddenly changed. This matter was a shadow for her. Thinking of it made her feel unusually uncomfortable. Zhao Ping'er's expression was a little ugly. You. What nonsense are you talking about? Who took your money? Zhao Yuner curled her lips and sneered. Is that so? You set up a stall so sneakily. You didn't share the money you earned with me. How dare you say that you didn't take my money? Ma Xiaofeng hurriedly explained to Zhao Yuner. Sister Yuner, you misunderstood. How could we take your money? We just set up this stall today. Naturally, we'll share the money with you when we earn. Zhao Yuner turned to Ma Xiaofeng and raised her eyebrows. Is that so? Ma Xiaofeng smiled embarrassedly. Of course. Sister Yuner, how could we lie to you? Sister Ping, don't you think so? Did some words have to be said clearly for Zhao Ping to understand? Zhao Yun'er's eyes turned cold. Zhao Ping's days were still too carefree. Since that's the case, then the money I got from setting up the stall these few days will be used as Sister Ping's medical fees. In the future, no matter how much money Sister Ping earns, it has nothing to do with me. There's no need for our cooperation to continue. I won't cooperate with people who aren't honest, and I don't want to waste time arguing. Zhao Yun'er said and turned to leave. Ma Xiaofeng rushed in front of Zhao Yun'er and blocked Zhao Yun'er's way. Chapter 1705. Discuss? There's no need for that. Doing business is all about honesty. Since you're not sincere, I don't need to continue working with you. In the future we'll go our separate ways. I wish you a prosperous business and make a lot of money. Zhao Yun'er sneered. Ma Xiaofeng frowned and pulled Zhao Ping's sleeve. She said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, hurry up and apologize. What are you doing here? We're in the wrong. Apologize to Sister Yun. Ma Xiaofeng thought that Zhao Yun'er would be angry, so she terminated the cooperation. If Zhao Yun'er's anger subsided after the apology, everything would be fine. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and looked reluctant. She thought that without Zhao Yun'er, the business couldn't continue. For the sake of money, she could only suffer. Okay then. Zhao Yun'er, it's my fault. I'll apologize to you, okay? Zhao Ping didn't have a trace of apology in her tone when she apologized. Instead, she felt that her apology was letting Zhao Yun'er off easy. Zhao Yun'er's mouth raised a playful smile. Sister Ping said it's okay, so it's okay? Am I so easy to talk to? Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Yun'er angrily and rolled up her sleeves. Zhao Yun, what do you mean? I'm already like this and you still can't do it? What do you want? Zhao Yun'er replied faintly, I don't want anything. I just don't want to continue working with you. There's nothing to do with it. After that, Zhao Yun'er broke free from Ma Xiaofeng's grip on her hand and left arrogantly. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er didn't want to work with them anymore, Ma Xiaofeng's heart suddenly sank. Without Zhao Yun'er's secret recipe, her breakfast stall couldn't make any money at all. How would she have the money to support her family? Ma Xiaofeng put all the blame on Zhao Ping. If it weren't for Zhao Ping, this situation wouldn't have happened. It was useless to scold Zhao Ping now. Ma Xiaofeng let out a heavy sigh. She had to think of another way. That's too much. Zhao Ping shouted angrily and complained to Ma Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng, look at her. Isn't she reasonable? You're using this to threaten me. I've already apologized, what else do you want me to do? Ma Xiaofeng ignored Zhao Ping because she wasn't in the mood. Zhao Ping glanced at Ma Xiaofeng. Seeing that Ma Xiaofeng's face was a little ugly, she quickly asked, Xiaofeng, what's wrong? Ma Xiaofeng took a deep breath and said lightly, Sister Ping, you should think about what we're going to do in the future. How are we going to continue with this business? Why did you have to offend Sister Yun? This. Zhao Ping bit her lower lip. Xiaofeng, Sister Ping, you know that without Sister Yun'er's secret recipe, our breakfast won't taste good. The business will definitely be bad later. We won't be able to make much money at all after a day of hard work. Then what should we do? Chapter 1706. If you don't beg, you won't have a chance. Ma Xiaofeng replied unhappily, Sister Ping, you have to be more sincere about this matter. Talk to Sister Yun'er properly and apologize properly. Maybe Sister Yun'er will change her mind. No matter what, you are her biological sister. I believe that Sister Yun'er won't be so ruthless. Zhao Ping couldn't stand the thought of having to put aside her pride to beg Zhao Yun'er. She really couldn't accept Zhao Yun'er's arrogance in front of her. Xiaofeng, don't you have any other ideas? Ma Xiaofeng chuckled. If it weren't for her feelings, she would have mocked Zhao Ping. Sister Ping, then tell me, what other ideas do you have now? If you can come up with an idea, naturally you don't have to beg Sister Yun'er. Zhao Ping bit her lower lip. How could she come up with an idea with her brain? Okay then. I'll talk to her later. By the way, Sister Ping, your family is going to hold a banquet. Send some money as a gift. Maybe it will be easier to talk to her. Ma Xiaofeng reminded her. She was more anxious than Zhao Ping. After all, she was more in need of money than Zhao Ping. Now that her family depended on her to support them, she had to plan carefully. After Zhao Yun'er left, she and Mulan continued to shop at the market. This time Mulan bought some mung bean barley. She wanted to learn from Zhao Yun'er and make some desserts for her family. After the two of them bought the desserts, they rushed back with Xiao Mao. When Zhao Yuner arrived home, Liang Jinxiao's relatives from her maternal family had all come over. Her sisters-in-law, her own uncle, aunt, and grandmother had formed a group. If it wasn't for the fact that the hall was big, it probably wouldn't be able to fit them all. A group of people looked left and right at Zhao Yuner's house, sighing at the luxury of Zhao Yuner's house. After all, such a house was too rare in the countryside. Many people had never seen it before. Zhao Yuner's second aunt couldn't help but sigh. Mother, look. Big sister's house is really good. There are so many things. How spacious is it? How comfortable is it to live? Wu Zhenju's eyes sparkled as she spoke. Her eyes were filled with envy. First Aunt Guocaixia chimed in, that's right. Such a house is so grand. No one in our village can live in such a big house. Eldest sister is so lucky. How enviable. When Granny Liang heard this, she chuckled and replied, this is a good thing. We should all be happy. Guocaixia smiled and agreed, Mother, you're right. We should all be happy that eldest sister's family is doing well. That's right. After all, we're family. I'm happy to see Qiao are living well. Granny Liang had a bright smile on her face. It was obvious that she was happy for Zhao Yuner's family from the bottom of her heart. Liang Jinxiao was her biological daughter. As a mother, which mother didn't want their children to live well? Mother, eldest brother, eldest sister-in-law, second brother, second sister-in-law, have some mung bean soup to quench your thirst. Liang Jinxiao brought out a jar of mung bean soup. It was left over from yesterday. Zhao Yuner had kept it in a simple self-made refrigerator. It was still cold, so it was just right to serve it to her family. Oh, there's still mung bean soup? Wu Zhenju's eyes lit up when he heard this, and he immediately went to the table. Liang Jinxiao smiled and replied, yes, there's still some left. Yuner made it. Chapter 1707. Yuner went to Yang City to buy some things. Isn't the banquet tomorrow? Let's buy the groceries and store them today so that it'll be easier for us to hold the banquet tomorrow. Liang Jinxiao nodded. I see. We have to buy some groceries back. This is a joyous occasion. We have to hold the banquet well. Liang Jinxiao nodded in agreement. Yes. Although it's a little troublesome, we still have to hold the banquet. Yes. Haha, not many people can afford to live in a house as big as eldest sister's. In our countryside, only landowners can afford such a big brick house. Guocaixia said enviously. Eldest sister, you're so lucky to live in such a good house. Your living room is spacious and it feels cool now. It's much cooler than our thatched hut. This is all thanks to Yuner's money. Yuner's father and I didn't do anything. If we're talking about luck, it's mainly because we're blessed to have Yuner. Liang Jinxiao said with a smile that revealed a sense of pride. Wu Zhenju felt a little uncomfortable. She had originally mocked Zhao Yuner. Now that Zhao Yuner's family was doing so well, it was a slap to her face. Unfortunately, she couldn't take back the words she had said. Eldest sister, hurry up and give mother a bowl to drink. Wu Zhenju urged. She was a little impatient when she saw Liang Jinxiao holding the mung bean soup and chatting with it without drinking. She was too embarrassed to say that she wanted to drink it, so she could only say that she would give old Madame Liang a bowl. Liang Jinxiao finally reacted and nodded. Yes, you must be tired and thirsty after such a long journey. Come and drink some. As he spoke, Liang Jinxiao placed a few bowls on the table and poured the mung bean soup into them. He handed a bowl to old Madame Liang first. Mother, here, drink. Old Madame Liang took it with a smile. Okay. You guys drink too. Yes, mother. Without Liang Jinxiao's order, Wu Zhenju eagerly picked up a bowl of mung bean soup from the table and poured it into his stomach. She knew that there was not much mung bean soup left. If she finished it first, she could ask Liang Jinxiao to pour more for her. Wow, it's cool and sweet. It's so delicious. It quenches my thirst. After drinking a bowl of it, I feel much more energetic and less hot. Wu Zhenju sighed. After the two men finished drinking, they said, this mung bean soup is similar to Yuner's sour plum soup. They're both thirst-quenching. While speaking, the two men wiped the sweat beads on their foreheads. They felt very comfortable. Their whole body was sweating and they felt a lot better. Ever since they finished their work, they didn't stay in the third branch. When they went back, the food they ate wasn't as good as the food in the third branch. Both of them missed the days when they worked. Sister, do you have any more? I'm done. Can you pour me another bowl? After Wu Zhenju gulped down a few mouthfuls of the mung bean soup, he held the bowl in front of Liang Jinxiao. It seemed like he was asking for permission, but he was actually ordering Liang Jinxiao. How could Liang Jinxiao not give Wu Zhenju more? Second sister-in-law, there's more. Liang Jinxiao smiled and poured another bowl for Wu Zhenju. However, there wasn't much mung bean soup left in the jar. Today there were more than 10 people from her maternal family who came, and each person had a bowl of more than 10 bowls. Chapter 1708. Liang Jinxiao shook her head and said, "No, it was Yun who used ice cubes." Wu Zhenju was slightly stunned. What? She used ice cubes? Where did she get ice cubes on such a hot day? This. Liang Jinxiao hesitated and did not know how to explain. She didn't know how to use the ice cubes. She didn't know what Zhao Yun'er put in the basin, but she made a pile of ice cubes. I don't know either. Yun'er has a lot of ideas. She came up with it. I see. Wu Zhenju did not dwell on this matter and continued to drink the mung bean soup in his hand. The mung bean soup tasted excellent and quenched thirst. It was really a good thing. The adults liked it and the children liked it even more. The few children who were brought over held the bowls and drank it. Liang Xinyue copied Wu Zhenju and quickly drank a bowl of mung bean soup. Then she took the bowl and asked Liang Jinxiao for more. Liang Jinxiao saw that Liang Xinyue was actually here. She did not notice it earlier, but now she noticed it. She asked Wu Zhenju in confusion, "Second sister-in-law, what's going on? Shouldn't Xinyue be married by now? How did she have time to come here? A married woman should be staying at her in-laws' house. Liang Xinyue should not be attending her in-laws' activities." Wu Zhenju's face suddenly fell when he heard this. Guocaixia could not help but snicker. However, she suppressed her emotions and explained to Liang Jinxiao, "Eldest sister, don't you know?" "Know what?" "Sigh, Xinyue's in-laws broke off their engagement, so she did not get married." "What?" Liang Jinxiao was slightly stunned. She did not expect this to happen. In the countryside, the chances of being rejected by the in-laws were very small. Her eldest niece was quite pretty, so there shouldn't be any reason for her to be rejected. Wu Zhenju's resentful gaze fell on Guocaixia. She felt that Guocaixia was gloating at her daughter's misfortune and couldn't wait for her daughter to end up like this. Guocaixia didn't care about Wu Zhenju's gaze and continued, "There's nothing we can do about it. If we want to blame someone, we can only blame Xinyue for not having a good reputation. That family suddenly changed their mind and wanted to marry someone else's daughter. It was said that his daughter had married into a lower class, and her dowry was worth several hundred taels of silver. Our Liang family is just an ordinary family. What can we use to compare with them? Since other families' daughters are worth more, they definitely won't want our Liang family's daughter." After Guocaishia's explanation, Liang Jinxiao finally understood what was going on. She thought of her second sister-in-law's smug and proud look. She did not expect that the engagement would be rejected. It was really a slap in the face. No wonder Wu Zhenju looked so embarrassed now. Some things could not be flaunted too much. No one could predict the outcome. Chapter 1710. Alright. Let's not talk about this anymore. I feel annoyed talking about it. Old Madame Liang said with some displeasure. Today he came to his eldest daughter's house because his eldest daughter's family had built a new house. He was very happy. After listening to Guocaixia and Wu Zhenju's words and thinking about Liang Xinyue's marriage, old Madame Liang suddenly felt unhappy. "Okay, mother?" Guocaixia responded with a smile and pursed his lips proudly. Wu Zhenju continued to put on a sullen face and replied to old Madame Liang embarrassedly, "Mother, it was sister-in-law who brought it up. I didn't say anything." "Second sister-in-law, look at what you're saying. If eldest sister asks, shouldn't you tell her? We're all family. It's okay to talk about this." "Humph, I think you're deliberately saying it for me to hear." Wu Zhenju snorted coldly. He couldn't stand Guocaishia's style of doing things. "Second sister-in-law, how can you accuse me wrongly? You're making me sound like someone else. You know very well what you mean." Second sister-in-law, seeing that the two of them were about to quarrel again, old Madame Liang slammed the table and angrily rebuked, "Are the two of you done talking? Didn't you hear what I said? All of you shut up." Guocaixia and Wu Zhenju were more or less afraid of mothers-in-law. In ancient times, mothers-in-law were more powerful than daughters-in-law. No matter how presumptuous they were, they didn't dare to go too far in front of their mothers-in-law. After old Madame Liang vented her anger, Guocaixia and Wu Zhenju immediately stopped quarreling. Zhao Yun'er's house fell into silence. The children gulped down the mung bean soup. Children loved sweets and were very greedy. After finishing the mung bean soup, each of them held a bowl in front of Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Eldest aunt, we want more." Liang Jinxiao glanced at the mung bean soup in the jar. There wasn't much left. Probably none of the children would be able to get a bowl. At this moment, Dowdu ran over. The two kids who had just returned from playing with Zhao Tianfu had a thin layer of sweat on their foreheads. Seeing that everyone in the room was drinking mung bean soup, Dowdu tugged at Liang Jinxiao's clothes and said, "Grandma, Dowdu also wants to drink mung bean soup. So thirsty." Liang Jinxiao looked at the small amount of mung bean soup left in the bowl and felt a little troubled. If he let Dowdu and Zhao Tianfu drink it, his nephews would be gone. Liang Jinxiao was afraid that Guixiaxia and Wu Jinzhu would scold her, so she asked for their opinion. "There's not much mung bean soup left. Sister-in-law, second sister-in-law, why don't we give it to Dowdu?" Guixiaxia was a sensible person. She pulled her son aside and discussed with him. "Dakue, let's give the mung bean soup to Dowdu. Don't drink it." Although Liang Dakue was a little unwilling, he nodded obediently. "Okay, Mom. I won't drink it then." Wu Jinzhu's son Liang Xiaofei took after Wu Jinzhu's temperament. He was not sensible. "Mom, no, I want to drink it. I want to drink it." Before Wu Jinzhu could say anything, Liang Xiaofei expressed his determination. Wu Jinzhu's mouth twitched. He was very embarrassed. However, she only had one son and she loved him dearly. She would usually give Liang Xiaofei whatever he wanted, and this time was no exception. Wu Jinzhu said to Liang Jinxiao, "Sister, we are guests today. Shouldn't you let the guests eat and drink well first?" Chapter 17:11. Wu Jinzhu's words made sense. Regardless of whether it was in ancient times or modern times, the first thing to do when entertaining a guest was to let the guest eat and drink well. The host had nothing to do with it. "Alright, don't do this. Didn't Xiaofei already drink it? Why is he still drinking it? You and your family are the only gluttonous ones in the Liang family. You eat more than the others." Old Madame Liang couldn't stand Wu Jinzhu and couldn't help but scold him. Guixiaxia followed behind and said, "That's right. Mother, you saw it too. Just now, second sister-in-law and Xianhuan each drank 2 bowls of mung bean soup. We only drank 1 bowl. There's not much left now. Maida Kuei didn't even want it. Why must Xiaofei drink it?" Wu Jinzhu's resentful gaze fell on Guixiaxia. Her sister-in-law was deliberately singing a different tune from her. Old Madame Liang nodded and said, "Yes, so Xiaofei doesn't need to drink the remaining soup. Give it to Dowdu to drink." With old Madame Liang's words, Liang Jinxiao finally felt relieved. "Mother?" Wu Jinzhu looked at old Madame Liang with some reluctance. "Don't say any more. You don't know the rules at all. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at when you go out? You're making it seem as if the Liang family doesn't give you food on a daily basis." Wu Jinzhu finally shut up. He glanced at Liang Xiaofei and felt sorry for his son. Liang Jinxiao poured a bowl for Zhao Tianfu and Dowdu each. The 2 children held the bowls and were about to drink it. Liang Xiaofei suddenly rushed out from behind Wu Jinzhu and went in front of Dowdu. He snatched Dowdu's bowl. Not only did he snatch Dowdu's bowl, but Liang Xiaofei also took advantage of the fact that he was a head taller than Dowdu and pushed Dowdu to the ground. Dowdu fell heavily on the ground, and a layer of his skin was scraped off as he tried to support himself. Liang Jinxiao's heart skipped a beat when he saw this. He rushed over to Dowdu and carried Dowdu in his arms. "How is Dowdu? Are you hurt anywhere? Show it to me." Tears welled up in Dowdu's eyes. He walked up to Liang Jinxiao with his hands out and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Grandma, it hurts." Liang Jinxiao held Dowdu's hand and looked at it. Dowdu's hand was bleeding from the scratches. Children's hands were very tender. If they accidentally knocked on the ground, they would hurt themselves. Seeing Dowdu injured, Liang Jinxiao's heart immediately ached. She looked at Liang Xiaofei with some displeasure. How could this child be so naughty and unreasonable? How could he push someone down so casually? Liang Xiaofei didn't feel that there was anything wrong with what he did. He grabbed the mung bean soup from Dowdu's hand and gulped it down in a few mouthfuls. Liang Jinxiao's face darkened. This child's education was too outrageous. Wu Jinzhu was not angry. Instead, he felt that Liang Xiaofei had done him a favor. Since he could not get it peacefully, he had to snatch it. Liang Jinxiao comforted Lil Pi with a few words, walked to Liang Xiaofei and said to Liang Xiaofei, "Xiaofei, haven't you already drunk a bowl? How could you snatch Dowdu's bowl? You even pushed Dowdu down. Look, Dowdu was hurt by you. His hand is scratched." Liang Jinxiao's tone was a little harsh. Since he was her nephew, she had to teach him a lesson. If she did not discipline him, he would be even more unreasonable when he grew up. If Zhao Tianfu was like Liang Xiaofei, she would have slapped him. Chapter 17:12. Wu Xinzhu hurriedly defended his son and said, "Eldest sister, what are you doing? Xiao Fei is still young and doesn't know any better. Aren't you afraid that you'll scare him by being so fierce?" Liang Jinxiao's expression did not look good. She took a deep breath and argued with Wu Xinzhu, "Second sister-in-law, that's not right. Xiao Fei may be young, but it's wrong to steal from others. Not to mention he even hurt Daodu. If we don't teach him a lesson now, won't he become a bandit when he grows up?" Liang Jinxiao's words made Wu Xinzhu very unhappy. Wu Xinzhu rolled up his sleeves and put his hands on his waist. He said fiercely to Liang Jinxiao, "Eldest sister, who are you saying will become a bandit when he grows up? My Xiao Fei only took some mung bean soup from your family to drink. Is there a need to say that he will become a bandit when he grows up? What kind of person are you? You treasure a little mung bean soup and can't bear to give it to my Xiao Fei. To think that Xiao Fei calls you eldest aunt." Liang Jinxiao's mouth twitched and her expression turned even uglier. "Second sister-in-law, I'm not saying that Xiao Fei will definitely become a bandit when he grows up. I'm saying that children should be educated well from a young age. Otherwise, who knows what he will become when he grows up if he learns bad things. If he learns how to steal now, won't he become a bandit when he grows up? Second sister-in-law, I know that Xiao Fei is your son and that you treasure him and spoil him, but you can't do this." Wu Xinzhu snorted coldly and said sarcastically, "Ha, eldest sister, are you teaching me how to educate a child? Your second brother doesn't even care about my Xiao Fei. What are you doing here? You're no longer part of the Liang family after marrying out. What right do you have to criticize my Xiao Fei? Can't you just teach your child well? I have the final say in how my Xiao Fei teaches you." Liang Jinxiao bit her lower lip. It was really tiring to argue with someone as unreasonable as Wu Xinzhu. If Liang Xiaofei really followed Wu Xinzhu's teachings, this child would definitely be ruined. "Second sister-in-law, I don't care what Xiao Fei does, but this child has hurt Daodu. He has to apologize to Daodu." Liang Jinxiao took a deep breath and said with a cold look in his eyes. Liang Xiaofei tugged at Wu Xinzhu's sleeve and shook his head. "Mother, I don't want to apologize. Little Fei, just apologize. It's indeed your fault for snatching other people's things." Old Madame Liang couldn't stand it anymore and tried to coax Liang Xiaofei. However, as Liang Xiaofei was old Madame Liang's precious grandson, old Madame Liang's attitude wasn't too tough. Instead, she used a negotiating tone. In the end, Liang Jinxiao's family was an outsider to old Madame Liang. They were not as close as her own grandson. Liang Xiaofei pouted and continued to refuse. "No, I don't want to apologize. It's eldest aunt's fault for being stingy and not giving me mung bean soup." Old Madame Liang sighed and didn't say anything else. Wu Xinzhu snorted softly. "Eldest sister, we're guests today and Xiao Fei is just a child. As an adult, why do you have to be so calculative? You're Xiao Fei's eldest aunt, aren't you?" Wu Xinzhu's words meant that if Liang Jinxiao didn't let Liang Xiaofei off, it would be considered as being calculative with a child. Liang Jinxiao felt uncomfortable, but she didn't want to quarrel anymore. She felt bad for making Daodu suffer like this. So what if he's a child? Can he do whatever he wants just because he's a child? A cold voice came from outside the house. Then Zhao Yun'er's figure walked into the house. Zhao Yun'er glanced at Daodu's hand, and her gaze became sharper. Chapter 17:13. She couldn't care less about what they did to others, but if they hurt Daodu, she wouldn't sit back and do nothing. Liang Jinxiao's gaze fell on Zhao Yun'er when he saw Zhao Yun'er walk in. He sighed in relief because he knew that Zhao Yun'er wouldn't let Daodu suffer any losses now that she was back. Wu Xinzhu was slightly taken aback and looked at Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er's aura was so oppressive that she couldn't breathe. She couldn't help but feel a chill run down her spine. Wu Xinzhu's mouth twitched and revealed an ugly and fake smile. He greeted Zhao Yun'er. "Yun'er, you're back." Zhao Yun'er sneered and ignored Wu Xinzhu. She stared coldly at Liang Xiaofei, who was standing behind Wu Xinzhu. Such a young child, under Wu Xinzhu's nurturing, had become unruly and out of control. Now he was acting so unreasonable in her house and even bullying Daodu. Wu Xinzhu knew that Zhao Yun'er was angry. He thought that Zhao Yun'er was going to teach Liang Xiaofei a lesson. He quickly stood in front of Zhao Yun'er and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, Xiaofei is just a child. Don't be too calculative with him. He was just being naughty for a while. It's not a big deal." Zhao Yun'er's lips curled into a cold smile. "Ah, he's just a child. It's not a big deal. You shouldn't be calculative with a child." Wu Xinzhu smiled embarrassedly. "Yeah. We adults shouldn't get involved when children are being naughty. It's normal for small fights to happen. Zhao Yun didn't say anything. The smile on her face was too cold. No one could guess what Zhao Yun was thinking. It was because of this that Wu Jinzhu felt a sense of danger. Zhao Yun walked in front of Daodu and said to Daodu, "Daodu, did you hear what your second aunt said? We adults shouldn't get involved in small fights between children. Do you know if I can help you?" Daodu nodded and replied in a soft voice, "Mother, Daodu knows." Wu Jinzhu sighed in relief. He thought that since Zhao Yun said that, she wouldn't pursue this matter. But in the next second, Wu Jinzhu's face. Zhao Yun said softly, "Since mother can't help you, then you have to rely on yourself. We can't be at a disadvantage. How others bully you, you have to bully them back. Have you forgotten all the kung fu your father taught you? Why didn't you use it at a critical moment? Uncle Xiaofei is so old, can't you beat him?" After being reminded by Zhao Yun, Daoda's eyes lit up. "Mother, Daoda can do it." Zhao Yun patted Daoda's head and said, "Since you can, then go. Remember, don't be at a disadvantage." "Mother, Daoda knows." Daoda clapped his little hands. His eyes, which were still glistening with tears, suddenly revealed a sharpness that didn't match his age. Wu Jinzhu's heart suddenly tightened. His lips trembled as he asked, "Yun girl, what are you trying to do?" Zhao Yun smiled coldly. "I'm not trying to do anything. Since it's a matter between children, I naturally won't get involved. I'm just letting Daodu solve it himself. Second aunt, you said it yourself. It's just children being mischievous. We'll just watch. You won't get involved, right?" Chapter 17:14. At the very least, his little Fei was a head taller than Daodu. How much strength could Daodu exert at such a young age? She and Zhao Yun wouldn't get involved, so it would be more beneficial for her. Even so, Wu Jinzhu was still quite worried. He saw Daodu's stubborn little face walk up to Liang Xiaofei. Liang Xiaofei was used to thinking highly of himself, so he didn't put Daodu in his eyes at all. He felt that if he didn't teach Daodu a lesson, he would miss the opportunity to teach him a lesson. Liang Xiaofei put the bowl on the table. When he was about to reach out to hit Daodu, he was thrown heavily to the ground by Daodu with a handsome shoulder throw. "Ah!" Liang Xiaofei screamed in pain. However, this was just the beginning. After Daodu threw Liang Xiaofei to the ground, he punched Liang Xiaofei's chest a few times. Zhao Yun watched coldly from the side. No matter how ruthless Daodu was, it was Liang Xiaofei's own fault. She had to teach Daodu a good lesson. He shouldn't be taken advantage of when he was young, so he shouldn't be too weak when he grew up. After all, Daodu often followed Liang Jinxiao. Zhao Yun was afraid that Daodu would be influenced by Liang Jinxiao. In any era, a person who was too weak would only be bullied. She didn't want to see Daodu like that. Daodu was encouraged by Zhao Yun and became even more ruthless. He directly used Liang Xiaofei as a daily target to train his skills. Thus, everyone watched as a 3-year-old child pressed another child who was a head taller than him to the ground and beat him up merrily. The older child didn't even have the strength to fight back. Wu Jinzhu was stunned for a few seconds. After seeing this scene, he was stunned. He hurriedly tried to push Daodu away from Liang Xiaofei, but Zhao Yun blocked him. "Second aunt, what are you doing?" Zhao Yun asked with a cold smile. Wu Jinzhu said angrily, "Yun, look at what Daodu has done to my little Fei." Zhao Yun smirked and asked, "So what? It's just a fight between children. Didn't second aunt say that before? Why are you feeling sorry for little Fei now? Can't bear to see him get beaten up by my Daodu?" Wu Jinzhu was so angry that his face turned ashen. He pointed at Zhao Yun and scolded, "What fight? Are you blind or what? My little Fei's face is bruised and swollen. This isn't light." Zhao Yun put her hands on her waist and said indifferently, "Second aunt really does feel sorry for her son. However, you are so agitated when your little Fei gets beaten up. My Daodu was pushed to the ground and scraped his hand, but you are so casual about it. You can't say that your son is a treasure while someone else's son is trash, right? You, second aunt, little Fei can't beat my Daodu because little Fei doesn't have the ability. He's so much older than my Daodu, but he was pushed to the ground and beaten up. How embarrassing. Second aunt is an adult, so don't help her. Otherwise, if an adult like you bullies my Daodu, I won't let you off." Zhao Yun warned coldly. Wu Jinzhu was intimidated by Zhao Yun's sharp gaze. He didn't dare to step forward and could only watch as Liang Xiaofei got beaten up. Hitting Liang Xiaofei's body was more painful than hitting her. "Daodu, why are you being so gentle? Did mother not feed you enough and you don't have any strength now?" Zhao Yun called out to Daodu. Chapter 17:15. With his mother backing him up, he wasn't afraid of anything. Thinking about what Zhao Yun'er had taught him before, Dowda didn't hold back at all when he beat someone up. Today, if he didn't fight for his face, he had to fight for his dignity. He had to beat Liang Xiaofei until he remembered that he wasn't someone who could be easily bullied. Wah wah wah, Liang Xiaofei cried miserably as he was beaten up. Wu Zhenju was so anxious that she stomped her feet. Unfortunately, Zhao Yun'er was blocking her, so she couldn't save Liang Xiaofei. She could only watch as Liang Xiaofei was beaten up. Zhao Yun'er, that bitch, she was too much. If anything happened to her little Fei, she wouldn't want to live either. Wu Zhenju hurriedly gave Liang Jinhui a look. She couldn't save Liang Xiaofei. As Zhao Yun'er's second uncle, Zhao Yun'er had to listen to him, right? Liang Xiaofei was Liang Jinhui's son after all. How could Liang Jinhui watch his precious son get beaten up so badly? Thus, he took a step forward and discussed with Zhao Yun'er. Yun'er girl, our little Fei was in the wrong this time. I apologize to you. Look, Dowdu has been beating him up for so long. Shouldn't he let our little Fei go? Zhao Yun'er's eyes turned cold. She chuckled and said, Second uncle, your words make it sound like I won't let little Fei go. Then Dowdu, second uncle, that's a matter between children. If you don't want little Fei to get beaten up, then let little Fei fight back. Don't tell me that little Fei can't beat Dowdu even though he's a head taller than Dowdu? Liang Jinhui was a little frightened by Zhao Yun'er's cold eyes. His wife didn't know how powerful Zhao Yun'er was. He had been with her for a long time and knew that Zhao Yun'er was not to be trifled with. If Zhao Yun'er got angry, the situation would be very serious. Wu Zhenju originally hoped that Liang Jinhui would be able to help Liang Xiaofei, but now that he found out that Liang Jinhui was a coward, he didn't dare to say a word. Seeing Liang Xiaofei beaten black and blue, Wu Zhenju couldn't help but wipe the tears from the corners of his eyes and cry with heartache. She had to remember this Zhao Yun'er later. She would definitely get her revenge. Old Madame Liang also felt heartache, but just as she was about to say something, she was stopped by Guixia. Mother, you don't have to worry about this matter. It's useless even if second brother says anything. It's indeed little Fei's fault first. We adults shouldn't get involved in children's matters. Otherwise, Yun'er will feel uncomfortable and big sister will also feel uncomfortable. Old Madame Liang sighed and said, okay then. That's the only way. Old Madame Liang felt sorry for her grandson, but she also knew that this was Zhao Yun'er, so she couldn't be too protective. Dowda beat up Liang Xiaofei for a while. When he saw that Liang Xiaofei was beaten up badly by him, he slowly got up from Liang Xiaofei's body. Liang Xiaofei was already on the ground, unable to move, and blood was flowing out of his nostrils. After Dowda beat up Liang Xiaofei, he walked towards Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er squatted down and wiped the sweat off Dowdu's forehead. Then she asked with concern, Dowdu, how are you feeling? Does your hand hurt? Do you want mother to rub it for you? After Zhao Yun'er said this, Wu Zhenju's mouth twitched. He was so angry. It was clearly her little Fei who was in pain, but in the end, it was Dowdu who was at a disadvantage. Wu Zhenju looked at Zhao Yun'er with resentment. Dowdu heaved a sigh of relief and shook his head with a smile. Mother, Dowdu doesn't hurt. There's no need to rub it. Chapter 17:16. At the same time, Zhao Yun'er didn't forget to teach him, Dowdu, the next time someone bullies you, crying is useless. You have to use your fist to teach them how to behave. You're a man, so you have to know how to protect yourself. Do you understand? Yes. Mother, Dowdu will definitely do that in the future. Good boy. Seeing that Dowdu was tired, Zhao Yun'er felt a tinge of sadness in her heart. This child had suffered so much in the past and was bullied by so many people. Fortunately, it wouldn't happen again in the future. With her around, no one would dare to bully the mother and son. Wu Zhenju cried as he rushed to Liang Xiaofei and carried Liang Xiaofei. Liang Xiaofei continued to cry loudly. When he reached Wu Zhenju's arms, he cried even more fiercely. Mother, it hurts. It hurts so much. Wu Zhenju patted Liang Xiaofei's back and said, All right. Xiaofei, don't cry. Mother knows that Xiaofei has been wronged. Mother. Liang Xiaofei realized that when he opened his mouth, a tooth fell out of his mouth. It was still stained with blood. Wu Zhenju was shocked when he saw it. He couldn't help but scold Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er, look at your family's Dowdu, isn't he too ruthless? My family Xiaofei's tooth has been knocked out. So what? If he can't beat others, he can only be beaten. Why don't your family Xiaofei stop teasing my family's Dowdu? Otherwise, he'll have to bear the consequences. Second aunt didn't teach her child well. How can you blame my family's Daodu? Zhao Yun replied indifferently. She didn't care about Liang Xiaofei's injury at all. Wu Zhenju was so angry that his liver hurt. It's just a child. Why are you so ruthless? It's really bad luck to have such a relative. Xiaofei's father, as a man you can't even protect your own son. What's the use of you? I think he's just a good-for-nothing. Wu Zhenju vented all his anger on Liang Jinhui. If Liang Jinhui had made a move just now, Liang Xiaofei would not have been injured so badly. Liang Jinhui expressed his helplessness. How could a man like him protect her? Should he make a move on a child or a woman? If he protected her, he would be scolded again. Little Fei's mother, this is our little Fei's fault. It's fine if a child's teeth fall out. They'll grow back in a while. This is a lesson for Xiaofei. He should restrain his temper. It's fine if he's arrogant at home. Our family can spoil him, but no one will let him do as he pleases outside. After listening to Liang Jinhui's words, Wu Zhenju became even angrier. Useless means useless. Why do you have to do all this nonsense? Xiaofei is just unlucky to have a useless father like you. Liang Jinhui was a little embarrassed. This woman was not done yet. Guocaixia, who was standing at the side, was gloating. She was very happy to see the second branch suffer. Usually, Liang Xiaofei was very pampered in the Liang family. He often bullied her family's decoué, but Wu Zhenju was very protective of him. Every time it was Liang Xiaofei who suffered. Now that she saw Liang Xiaofei being taught a lesson, she finally vented her anger. Evil brats like Liang Xiaofei had to be taught a lesson. Otherwise they wouldn't know what was good for them. You didn't help him when he was beaten up, and now you have the nerve to fight with me. Why can't I fight with you? Little Fei grew up in the Liang family, and he eats the Liang family's food. If he doesn't follow me, should he follow you? Alright, Liang Jinhui, you heartless person. I must have been blind to follow you. Wu Zhenju sat on the ground and cried. Zhao Yun saw the scene in front of her and couldn't help but frown. She hated this kind of quarreling scene the most. It made her feel annoyed. Especially Wu Zhenju, who was shouting at the top of his lungs and acting like a shrew. To put it bluntly, wasn't it because she saw it that day? It was all Daodu's fault for being too ruthless and hurting Liang Xiaofei. Chapter 17-18. Zhao Yun'er's cold voice drifted over. Are you going to scram or not? If you want to scram, then hurry up and scram. Don't make a fuss in my house and bring bad luck to yourself. Wu Zhenju's resentful eyes fell on Zhao Yun'er. The instigator of all this was Zhao Yun'er. This be asterisk teased. The Wu Zhenju was so angry that he picked up the iron shovel next to him and wanted to swing it at Zhao Yun'er. He had to fight it out with Zhao Yun'er today. Zhao Yun'er narrowed her long and narrow eyes. Just as she was about to dodge, someone kicked Wu Zhenju in front of her and sent him flying. Wu Zhenju fell heavily to the ground and cried out in pain. The iron shovel also fell to the side. Everyone looked up and saw Mu Lianfeng standing in front of Zhao Yun'er with a sullen face. Mu Lianfeng asked gently, Yun'er, are you all right? Zhao Yun'er shook her head and said, I'm fine. You came just in time. How could anything happen to me? Mu Lianfeng responded. His deep and cold eyes stared at Wu Zhenju and his gaze suddenly became sharp. Wu Zhenju felt a murderous aura. He looked up at Mu Lianfeng and was intimidated by the aura that Mu Lianfeng was emitting. The Liang family's gaze also fell on Mu Lianfeng. Among these people, except for Liang Jinhui and Liang Jinshen, no one else had seen Mu Lianfeng before. Mu Lianfeng was wearing a purple brocade robe and exuded the aura of a noble. One look at Mu Lianfeng's attire and the noble aura he exuded showed that he was not an ordinary person. When the two unmarried girls from the Liang family saw Mu Lianfeng, they were completely attracted to Mu Lianfeng. In all their lives they had never seen a man so handsome. It was as if he had walked out of a painting. His eyes were as charming as peach blossoms, his tall nose bridge, his thin lips and his well-defined face were truly captivating. Liang Xinyue and Liang Xinzi's hearts rippled. They were deeply captivated by Mu Lianfeng. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes today, they wouldn't have believed that there was such a man. He was much better looking than the villagers in the village. Most importantly, Mu Lianfeng was not only handsome, but also had an extraordinary status. His family must be rich. Many women wished to marry such a man. Liang Xinyue and Liang Xinzi were both dazed by Mu Lianfeng. How could they pay attention to Wu Zhenju's trivial matters? You want to make a move on Yun'er? Mu Lianfeng asked in a cold voice. His gaze seemed to be able to kill Wu Zhenju. Wu Xinzhu sat on the ground and trembled for a moment. He stammered, "She was the one who did it first. She beat my son up like this. I was just angry and wanted to return the favor. You can't bully people like this, right?" Mu Lianfeng's brows furrowed. Xiaoyun took a step forward and said to Wu Xinzhu, "Second aunt, it was clearly your family Xiao Fei who bullied my family's Dao first. No matter how badly he was beaten, you have to accept your fate." Although Wu Xinzhu was afraid, he was still somewhat unconvinced as he replied, "Why? How can you be so unreasonable? My family Xiao Fei was only scratched by Daodu. Look at Xiao Fei's bruised nose and swollen face, even his teeth were knocked out by Daodu." You're tuning in to the Sword Dance in the Vast Sky YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.